Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Lisa. I hope you're all having a wonderful and creative day. And I'm so happy that you joined me today to see what is up with these, what I would like to call jumbo inkbox cards. Now, if you ever heard of inkbox cards are based on the ink boxes from Tim Holtz, which are 3x3 with rounded edges. Now, I was going to do 3x3, but when I started doing this project, it just seemed a little tiny to me. So I decided to up it to 3.5. Now it works out perfectly because I have a ton of these strips laying around that are 3.5 inches wide by 12. Because if you've seen any videos, if you've seen some videos on my channel, I like to cut 12 by 12 papers down to 8.5 by 11 to run through my printer. So when I cut it down to 8.5, it leaves 3.5 inch strips. So I have a whole bunch of these 3.5 inch strips laying around. So I decided that would be a good size to cut 3.5 by 3.5 squares and round them to make jumbo ink boxes. So from there, I was playing around with some boxes. So I cut some strips down that were 3 inches by just a whole bunch of different widths. And I started drawing little squares around there. Now I did not draw them straight, and I'll show you how I did them. I drew them a little wonky, and I think they just look excellent when they're a little wonky because you can make mistakes then. So I found tall flower stickers. I have the flower journal going on right now. I also have a purple journal that'll be coming up. This would be perfect for. Did a little stamping, little tidbits, I'll show you this stamp set I believe I got at Joann Fabrics. And then I did one sideways. Actually, I did this one next, sideways. Again, with those stamps, I'll show you. This flower, sort of sideways. Added a little butterfly, another little sticker there, and another stamp. I think that's from Tidbits, if I'm not mistaken. And then I found I had some colored papers that were a little bit not a little bit. They were not white. So I thought these would be fun to kind of play with. Again, with the squares. I got a butterfly flower, a butterfly sticker with like a leaf and some more stamping. So just fun. So let me show you how I did these. Really not hard, but just fun to play with. All right, so I've got I got a white, an off-white, and a beige. And I'll start with the white just because it's there. And I had a pen, and it started acting up on me, so hopefully it's not, ink started running. But like I said, I cut the squares that are 3x3, and I did my best. The only thing I really did is to make sure that this line was even with that. And I'm going to draw them up and down, but in the end, the picture could go up and down, or it could go sideways because they're 3.5 by 3.5. So we're going to go and we're gonna draw the line around it, and then oops. Yeah, see, this pen is acting up. I'm gonna find a new one, but it doesn't matter for what this is being done. Okay, and then let's do a smaller one over here. I do want to leave a little space in between to add some stamping. So I'm just, again, the only thing I'm going to do is kind of make sure that that bottom is, or the side is straight. And there we go. Now I did it a couple ways. One way I did take a second time with the pen, and I did try to draw the lines freehand. Whoa, that was really off. And without even trying to draw them straight, or even with trying to draw them straight, they became a bit wonky. So there's that. Now the second thing I have are these midliner markers. They kind of remind me of highlighters and or probably like alcohol markers. So I decided to use those. Let's use the green one here. And I just outlined what it was, and that's why I think the alcohol markers could work, because I'm pretty sure they do the same thing. I just don't have any alcohol markers. Whoa. But they definitely give an artsy kind of look to it, don't they? Almost like if I had a very fine watercolor pen, I could do that They don't say they're watercolor markers. They just say they're midliners. I'm pretty sure that they're also available at Michael's. But I haven't checked. But this was like a neutral set and I got, and I thought, I really never used it, and this really seemed to be a great idea for it. Now the other thing I found, and let me draw another set of squares here, and doesn't matter which side, because like I said, it can be, you can put it this way, this way, this way, this way. I'm just putting it on this side to start. Some of these craft cardstock papers have bumpier sides and smoother sides, so I was just checking to see if there was a bumpy and a smooth side of this. All right, so we'll just do that, and this one. So the other thing I have, my husband gave to me recently, and I have not until today played with it at all. All right, let me get a little bit of ink. I don't know, I think the pen's starting to explode on me. You probably use a very fine Sharpie marker to do this, would be another option. And if you're really brave, you could probably just take your square and draw your own lines without, ooh, that was really off. I mean, that's still not too bad. And draw your own. Totally works. Okay, but the others are the same. My husband gave me these. These are not colored pencils. They're not watercolor pencils. They are called pastel pencils. Now they really remind me of a chalk. So I did them, and I don't know where it went to. Oh, I did one in purple, and it did brush off, but I'm thinking, you know, that could still work as an option. So let's see what color I want to use. Oops, give me a pencil sharpener. I'm going to leave that. Should I do blue? Oh, you know what I was going to do? That's what I'm going to do. And I found, for this one, the reason I did green is because I did find a sticker for it already that I thought would work well. And that's why I thought green would be good. So let's find, before I do a color here, let's find a flower that this would go with before I pick a color. Okay. I was kind of leaning toward blue. Blue and green, that could be pretty. This is like definitely a dark blue. I don't know how many more blue flowers are going to be in here. That one's kind of skinny. I'm looking for just something that's tall. It doesn't have to fit exactly inside that square, but just longer and taller, like something like that, like that. All right, we're gonna go with that one. It's kind of purplish, but I definitely say it's like a blue. Okay, we're gonna go with that. So I can pick a blue, I can pick a blue. That's my whole point, I wanted to pick a blue. All right, so several shades of blue. I don't know if they have colors on here. Made in France, Comté de Paris. My husband went to school to be a graphic artist, so he's got a bunch of weird stuff. He had 2 sets of these, so he says, do you want one? And I'm like, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to do the same as I did with the midline marker, but you can see it comes out like a piece of chalk. You can almost sound like it. Now, like I said, I haven't played with it, so if I make it sit, I should really ask him how to do it. But that is so not me. I could let it sit for a while. Maybe it'll stay. Maybe there's some fixative. But like I said, I brushed against this. That's from an ink pad. I brushed against it and it came off, but I thought it really kind of adds a fun color to it. So we're going to go ahead and chalk it up and give it kind of a messy look. Now there's probably a tool I could use instead of my finger. Yeah, it's definitely chalky. And I had a wet wipe here somewhere. I just get a new one. Okay, I'm gonna let this one sit for a bit and see if it dries anymore. Again, I could be telling you something that's completely wrong, but it looks pretty. Okay, so for this one, we're gonna do this. Oh, that was gonna go on that one. Duh. Okay, just ripped it. I have this one. All right, so this one can go sideways, and not really, it could go up and down, but I think I'm gonna make it go sideways. All right, it's gonna go on the top because this is gonna hang down a little bit more than I want to. Now, before I do that, I think I wanna stamp some background. I had done that afterwards on some of those. I just want to stamp a little background. This is just I think this was another set I got from Joann's. It just has some words in there. And I think I'm going to do a pinky color. And I get to play with all those distress oxides that I recently got, which is fun. All right, I think it goes that way. All right, so we're just gonna put that in the background of that. Beautiful. All right, put that away. Okay, now for the bottom, we'll find some stamps, and I brought out my tidbits, and I brought out the Curator, and then I also brought out the other one from Joann's, which are thinly striped things, and then I also brought out, I have this, I'm not sure where I got this from, but it's just got little dates and signatures and names and postcard, and I just thought there'd be some fun stuff to use with that. Okay, so I think I'm gonna do this little flower, and we will do some more pink, and we're gonna put it here. Now some of them I did get a little away from the base so I could put like this one. I do have the flowers on top, and this one I did put the like signature on the top. These two are pretty far away, so everything's going to go in the center, but it's just, we're just having some fun and playing. All right, that's probably enough of the pink. And I do have a green, and I think I'm going to do some numbers on this. I think this would be fun. Right? Yeah, you'll fit beautifully. There we go. Beautiful set of numbers. And I think I'm going to do some sort of never used this one before. Oh, that one's stuck. It says postcard. That could be fun. And I think we'll do a little bit darker green here. Okay, now put this back. And I do want some sort of circle thing there. And I did pull out my other 3 field notes and curator and etc. just because. Received. Can't go wrong with a little received. Yeah, we'll do the darker. I need a piece of something. Just want to go off the edge over here a little bit, just to give a little bit something over there. Okay. Yeah, cute. Seems like I could put one more little thing in there. And I think it should be words since I put numbers here. All right, let's do example number 3. Yep, I think we'll go with the dark green again. Oh yeah, that needed that. Beautiful. Okay. Now if I wanted to, I could add a little inking to the outside just to frame it. I don't really want to make it too dark since it's got a white background, but cute, right? I like it. All right, let's see if we can play with this blue one since I chalked it up. I do have a couple blue inks to play with, the Salvage Patina, Uncharted Mariner, and Peacock Feathers. So we'll see if any of those need to be done. Let's put away this one. Okay. Now, you're gonna go in there. And I think I do want to do like I did that last one, where I back it up with something. All right, we have another one I've never used before. Okay, let's go with, I know it's weird, but I think I may do the background in the green. There's green leaves on there, so I don't think there's a far stretch to do that. Okay. I left the middle open just because that's where the flower is going to go. I do have these swooshes that are fun. I like that. It adds the, that word stamp had like pushes in there. Fun. Yeah, I gotta figure out how to set this. This may never see the light of day to go into a journal, just because of what's coming off, but we'll see. I'm having fun playing with it. I think still the design part is fun. And I said I might have to invest in more alcohol markers. If that's the case, that these are very similar to that. Let me know if you think these are similar to what an alcohol marker is, and how it would react. Are these more like is there watercolor markers? I don't know. But yeah, let me know if anybody knows what those are, because I really like how that looks over the black. Okay, flower. Yeah, I think because this is a little bit darker background, I am going to ink put a little vintage photo on this. Okay, yeah, that's cute. All right, so for the words going this way, they're going to have to kind of go sideways, or I put something that's shorter there, like admit one. Could be cute up there. Let's do that. Get my swoosh off of there. All right, so this is where we're going to go back to the blues that I was thinking of. All right, let's see what Uncharted Mariner. All right, that worked. And what about a big number 5? That could be fun. It doesn't, like I said before, it doesn't have to fit inside the box. It can definitely be outside of the box. I'm wondering if I should do blue, but oops. There we go. Oh, how fun. All right, I need a little word or something there. And then I think I'm going to call this one done. And I think I'm going to use one of the tidbits after I get this cleaned off. Okay, let's put this away. Or not tidbits, the curate. Curate, or square one or a round one. Square or round. Or, see, that has an odd shape. This has a bit of a round. I think square is okay. So let's do some of these. Yeah, this one's never been used. I've used these, but as a full sheet where I stamp down. All right, let's go back to Uncharted Mariner, or this. I really hope I find a way to make these chalk stuff work, because there's some fun colors in there, that's for sure. Okay. Back. All right, so I think I want one little stamp there now that I put it back, and I do have these strips. Some of them do go up and down, so I think the hearts would be fun. And I think I'm going to do them in the VersaFine Clear, a little darker, since it's kind of like a border. The Morning Mist, kind of a grayish black. All right, make sure the hearts are the right way. Oh yeah, that's cute. Okay, well these were fun to do. I am so happy I decided to play around with these. Look how cute, look how cute that heart is. Yeah, like I said, I just hope it I hope I can get this to stop running on my fingers, because you don't want to be putting it in and out of a journal and having it running. That's for sure. But yeah, I think that's fun. Like I said, I have a whole bunch of other ones to play with, but I think you kind of got the idea. Yeah, it's hard to tell. Okay. Yeah, I like it. I really do. I'm gonna have to go find some of those markers, I think. Similar to this. Whatever this is. It just says double-ended, soft, mild color. Creative marker. Assorted ink, double-ended. It says a highlighter. Available in 30 colors and a variety of palettes. I'm gonna have to track them down, because I really do. Now that I've had these forever, and I finally played with them, so I'm glad I did. Okay, well, that is gonna be it for me today. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you got some fun ideas to create some of your own jumbo ink box cards. All right, that is gonna be it for me today. I appreciate each and every one of you that stopped by, and I hope you all have a wonderful and creative day. Bye now.